Well guys, we thought this was a thing of myth, but the Married at First Sight UK reunion is here. Very much so. And I've just watched the first part and things are already kicking off. Now, we do have some contestants in this reunion who weren't in the last season which I covered, and I'm not 100% sure on them because I don't think I watched that season. Matt and Shona are together, they're very happy. They seem to be the only couple who are actually together thus far, who we've seen. All the people from the series I covered have all broken up. So there you go. I don't think you'll be shocked to hear that. But there have been some revelations thus far. The first being that Kieran, from Kieran and Christina, has actually got it on with Erica from the previous season, and she admitted that he ended up staying at her flat in Edinburgh, even though Kieran has said, yeah, I've seen no one since blah, blah, blah.
Kieran...
No!
Came up to Edinburgh. He stayed at mine for the night. We had a kiss.
And then we have poor old Nathan, who tells everyone that Lacy only wanted to stay together with him as a showmance so they could use it to make money and get PR opportunities. I mean, how shallow is that? I mean, it's Love Island shallow. That's how shallow it is.
The relationship that she wanted would be a pretend one, so she can get more opportunity from it and make more money, and I didn't want to do it.
I've got to give props to Holly, guys. Holly, who was a real mean girl last series, especially to Hannah. Her and Polly were mean girls together to her, and to others as well, but they were particularly bad to her. And Hannah is bricking herself as Holly arrives, probably getting a bit of PTSD, thinking, oh, this girl's going to bully me again like she did last time. And to be fair, Holly apologises and says, I never should have treated you like that. It was mean girl behaviour. I'm very sorry. And I think, you know what? A lot of these reality TV people could watch that apology and say, you know what, that's how you do it. You apologise properly, you admit you were horrible, and say, forgive me, I'm sorry, and you move on. And I think that's made a tremendous difference. I feel like, okay, Holly's obviously had some time away, she's had time to think, she's cleared her head, and she's just become a nicer person and responsible. Said, you know, I can't be behaving like this, and, you know, let my daughters see my behaviour like that. So, well done, Holly. Thumbs up. 10 out of 10 from me, and that means a lot.
Like, I'm so sorry for making you feel so vulnerable and hurt as a person to sit in a room and have to feel like you are being targeted. That is horrible. That is mean girl behaviour, and I'm so sorry.
And then we have this ongoing thing with Kieran as Erica arrives at the event, and he doesn't seem to want to admit that he even did anything, and then he has to kind of admit it slyly to Orson and not admit it to others, and doesn't want Christina to find out, and Erica's saying, well, I'm going to tell Christina if he doesn't. I forget that towards the end of the last season, Kieran's behaviour was very questionable towards Christina, and I felt like she kind of got dealt a bitter blow when it all ended, because Kieran never really committed and never made his reasons for ending the relationship particularly clear. He just kind of gave up. And here he is now just being really dishonest. You know, ironic really, after Holly's good apology, that we have Kieran being so dishonest and just not wanting just to fess up and say, yeah, okay, I met up with Erica, we kissed on the lips, I spent the night at her flat in Edinburgh, but nothing physical apart from the kiss happened. That's it. But instead he's kind of lingering and kind of make it a really complicated, problematic issue.
Do Edinburgh boys know who Erica's dating?
I reckon I did.
Yeah.
Who's did?
Someone, like one of you guys.
What?
Not you.
Guys, there are like 17 people at this reunion. How are we supposed to keep track of them all? I mean, there are so many different faces, so many different people. I'm like, who's who? What's going on? Anyway, I can tell you this. Lacey's arrived. Nathan's very upset at seeing Lacy.
I'm just a little bit emotional, to be honest with you.
Then what's interesting is that Lacy gives her version of the breakup, and it's very different to what Nathan has already told everyone. So obviously there's something going on there.
It was him the one that blocked and ducked, and he didn't try like repair the relationship, or try, you know, fight for it, and that's what hurts.
Now we have Tasha's arrived, again from the previous season to the one I covered, and her ex Paul has arrived, and Emotions are very high. She is just not ready to see him and has just run out of the room crying. What I find fascinating is how it seems everyone from the last series knows everyone from the previous series. Do they like get together and do events? Because they all seem to be referencing each other's, partners and stuff. And I'm like, I thought you guys were random strangers put together for your season. So how do you know each other? Do you go to special parties? Is it a special club? Do you meet in Married at First Sight basements and discuss Married at First Sight? Well, what's going on here? I'd like to know more.
And they just, I don't know.
Well, if you can work out what's gone wrong in Lacy and Nathan's relationship, guys, then well done you, because I'm finding it very confusing. There seems to be a lot of screaming and a lot of tears, and it's quite difficult to work out exactly where everything went wrong. But we have to remember that Nathan is neurodivergent, and being thus, he will struggle to express his emotions, and he will struggle to be great at communication, because that's just part and parcel of having such a condition. So I don't understand what Lacy would be concerned about in that respect, and also she has a sister who's neurodivergent, so she should be used to this. But anyway, we went all over this last time during the series. But yeah, there's, she denied the Showmance thing, and then he's sitting with her outside, the meeting area on the sofa, and he brings out the text where she talks about it being a showmance. So what was all that about? I don't understand.
She didn't say to me then, I think we should fake it.
Can we stop doing tit for tat?
I was so sad when I heard that.
And then after all the crying and all the wailing and all the back and forth, Lacy reads out this rather tepid letter to him, which was quite almost borderline funny, I thought, and then just stands up and says, "That's it, I'm done," and walks off.
I'm done.
I didn't think so.
Yeah,
I didn't think so. I didn't think so.
I'm done.
I'm just confused as to exactly what happened here. And it's clear that Nathan doesn't understand what's happened either. But does Lacy? I think Lacy is really the only one who can actually decide whether it gets another chance or not, because I think Nathan would quite happily get back with her, but I don't know. I found the whole thing rather perplexing. Maybe you didn't, and if you didn't, then I think you, sir, or madam, are a genius. Adam and Amy look like they're going to become a couple, guys, but I think we already knew this, didn't we? Because after the show, they were on Instagram or something, weren't they, being all pally, so them getting together is nothing new. But I have to say, I miss watching scenes of Polly terrorising Adam, and I really miss Luke, because he was hilarious with Amy, even though it got a bit weird, and he clearly didn't know what on earth he was saying to her after a while, and it came across as incredibly rude and creepy, and possibly borderline, call the police on this guy. I have to say, it was very funny. But yeah, they're getting closer.
What do you want us to do? Get on the table and shag?
Well, I'm bold. Might warm me up.
Then the Nathan and Lacy thing is continuing as they sit down for supper. And there's this weird confrontation where Kieran is saying to Lacy, the last time you texted him, wasn't it about a magazine shoot? And you were cross with him because he didn't want to do it, and blah, blah, blah. What is going on with these people? And Lacy won't answer it. I don't understand why it's so difficult to answer. Was there a magazine shoot you wanted Nathan to be in with you to pretend you were a couple or not? It's not a difficult question to answer because it's such a unique proposition to someone. It either did or didn't happen. I don't understand why it's bad for her to say, yeah, okay, it did happen, I just wanted the money and I thought he could use the money too. Done. But instead she says, I'm not going to talk about that. She says she's leaving, and guys, she gets up, and then Lacy leaves, and then she comes back. So, yeah.
Is that why you texted him a couple of days ago asking him to do a magazine deal just to make you look better? Did you? What did you? She knows what I'm going to say, that's why she's put it in.
And on that note, I'm actually going to go tonight. No, I am.
Well, to quote Lacy, I fighted to get to the end of that programme, guys. It was a real fighted, but I got there in the end. Yeah. So when Kieran announced to the assembled crowd that he had, and this was under pressure from Erica, he had gone to Edinburgh and kissed Erica on the lips, the reaction from especially the women at the table was akin to him standing up and saying, I went to Edinburgh, slept with Erica, she's now pregnant and we're going to have the baby. It was so strange. It was just a kiss, guys. It was like being back at school when you kissed a girl at the weekend and you didn't want anyone to find out and then leaked out and everyone was really shocked. It was so strange.
I went and seen Erica about 2 months ago, and we shared a kiss.
And then we had, they did the stupid pass the box of questions round. Nothing really major happened. We had more Nathan and Lacey stuff where they all got teary and Lacey said, oh, I really did love you, blah, 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 whatever. If you really did, then you'd still be together. But anyway, then towards the end, they had Matt and Shona together, and it looked like Matt was going to propose. He had something prepared to tell Shona how great she is. He got a ring out. And it's a promise ring. It's not an engagement ring. It's not a wedding ring. It's a promise ring, guys. And everyone is sitting there going, couples goals. I'm so jealous. Well, you're jealous of a promise ring? Promise ring means nothing. Do you know what I mean? I'm sorry to sound callous, but the real ring is, will you marry me? Here's an engagement ring. Or, we are married. Here are our wedding rings. Now, I did get confused here because I thought, are they legally married or not legally married? Because I know in the show they're actually not legally married. I thought they got legally married since then, but no. It's a promise ring. Again, that's a bit like a teenagery thing to me. It's like, oh, here's a promise ring. We promise we'll be best mates forever. We promise we'll be boyfriend and girlfriend forever and ever. And then, of course, it doesn't last. So that was a massive anticlimax.
It's a promise ring.
Oh, wow. Oh my God. Bling ring.
If you want my opinion, and you've lasted this far into the video, so why not? Who's the real winner at this reunion? The only real winner for me, from my perspective, was Sasha, who had told everyone, I'm a Christian now, and I'm believing that Jesus is going to heal the emotional hurt, and I'm trusting in God. And I thought, you know what, Sasha? As a fellow Christian, you've made the best choice out of everyone there tonight. And of course, I am going to say that because I'm biased, because, as I said, I'm a Christian also. And I think Sasha came out of it the best to me, because I thought she's done something clever and smart, I think. She's not trusting in herself, but trusting in God to get her through all the tough and difficult parts of life. And there are plenty of those to get through. So I thought that was good. But I have to say, apart from that, guys, this was a bit of a slog. And I felt like it was all over the place. There were too many people to focus on, as I said. I just came away from it thinking, all right, but we could have probably had 3 or 4 episodes of this, in order to really find out who was who and what was what. Lots was left unsaid. Some of the people there barely said a word. Why were they even there? Anyway, I'll stop critiquing it as if it were Oppenheimer or Killers of the Flower Moon, and we shall end this video. Thank you all for watching, and we shall no doubt return to this at some later date. Au revoir.
I am a different Sasha. I found God after my breakup with Ross. I think I was finding that so difficult and seeking healing. And the only person that healed me was Jesus himself.